All right, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be my very first video on this channel, and aptly I thought since it's the end of the year, I would write down the top 5 things that I learned this year and then shoot this little video about it. So these are in no particular order. I just kind of wrote down different insights that I've had throughout the years, different quotes that I've taken screenshots of, different lessons that I've learned, and kind of culminated it down to 5 things that I think are sort of the most important things that I've taken away this year. So starting it off, I'm probably gonna go with the most important one that I've taken away this year. And that is that the only thing that matters is the internal self-work that you do and not really the external things. So let me dive a little bit deeper into what I mean by that. So I think it's pretty easy nowadays to just get so focused on the external things that we can do to change our reality, right? You know, if you wanna lose weight, you can go to the gym. If you want to get more productive, here's top 5 hacks to get more productive. If you want to get better sleep, you need to lower your resting heart rate just before you go to bed, and here's 10 ways to do that. And also you need an Aura ring to track your sleep and all this shit. And there's so much stuff that you can focus on externally to fix your life, to fix your problems, to fix the things around you. But not a lot of people take a look at the internal stuff. You will get 10 times more leverage by focusing on the things internally, your own thoughts, your emotions, your past experiences, the shit that happened to you as a kid. You will get more out of dealing with that and going and looking at that than you will with anything external. And the biggest things that I've learned this year, the biggest gains that I've had, is the stuff where I've looked inside of myself and been like, what from my past made me react like that? What happened to me as a kid that made me go after this thing? And what you'll realize is that a lot of the things that you chase, a lot of the behaviors that you exhibit, a lot of the emotions that you come up with tend to stem from things that happened to you in the past. And it's hard to trace back because it's not like a linear thing. It's not like, here's top 5 habits that you can do to change your life, and you do them and it works. This is sort of like a whole discovery process, and it comes to you in stages. And there's no real like step-by-step playbook on how to do this. And I know that most people when they hear this, they're going like, you want me to look at my emotions, bro? Like, is that really what's important? Like, you want me to feel things and you want me to think about my feelings? Like, are you serious? And I think what I've come to realize over the years is that, like the advantages that you get from doing that are kind of profound because you fix certain things in yourself that you never thought you had in the first place. I'm running out of daylight. Okay, turn on the lights. All right, lesson number 2, focus on the few, not the many. And so Ray Dalio has a beautiful quote about this, which I'm gonna read. And that says, while you can have virtually anything you want, you can't have everything that you want. It's quite easy nowadays to basically have way too many goals. And this is a mistake that I did this year. And it's much better to pick a few things that you actually enjoy doing, where you actually have an edge. And it might not be the hottest thing in the world. It might not be what everyone else is doing. But at the end of the day, it's better to pick something that you like. And it's better to pick few of those things and focus on those rather than trying to, meet every single thing. And so that's one portion of it. I guess another portion of it is also like, how do you work on a specific goal? And like, how do you approach it? So for example, let's just say you have all these goals physically. You want to be able to run a marathon. You want to double your bench press. Squat more. But also you want to be more flexible and you want to take care of your body and you want to stretch more. And you also want to track your calories and do your nutrition. So there's all of this stuff that you can focus on. And you're better off just picking one aspect of that to focus on for the first maybe 2 months, 3 months. Okay, I'm just going to work on my flexibility. And I'm going to make sure I do my stretches every single day after I go to the gym. And I'm not going to think about everything else. And this is the only thing I'm going to focus on for the next, you can say season or quarter or next few months. And then after you get to the end of those 3 months where you focus on flexibility, then you can go and look at yourself and say, wow, my body feels way better. I feel way better. And then you can go and work on the lift and so on. All right, lesson number 3. So this one's sort of related to this video and this channel as a whole. I wrote down, it's time you stop consuming and start creating. And again, this is one of those things where it's so easy nowadays to just consume. It's so easy nowadays to just watch podcast after podcast, to read book after book, to listen to this guy and then this guy and then that guy. You think you're being productive, but you're really not. You're just learning, but you're not applying anything. And it's better you just read 3 books and apply them fully than read 15 books, but also like do nothing with that information. I wrote this lesson down because into the next year, It's like reduce the amount of consumption, focus on creation. And that's what this YouTube channel is about. And again, it doesn't need to be content, by the way, like whatever creation means to you. Maybe it's like learning a new hobby. Maybe it's actually like you want to build this thing out of wood and do a DIY project, but you never had the time to do it. So you just go and you do that. All right, lesson number 4, make decisions quicker, especially the small ones. And this seems simple, but there's a lot to unpack here. This is a big lesson that I learned. Like if you think about all the decisions that you have to make in a year, and you think about how long did you spend on certain decisions, and you think about, damn, was that worth the time spent on that decision? Did that have so much impact that I need to think about that so often? Was having that hard conversation really like meaningfully going to change your life? Probably not, right? Was sending that email or like applying to that job, going to require this much analysis? And this is more so with different personality types, and my personality falls into this very clearly, is that I tend to analyze things a lot more before I do something. And that's actually kind of a mistake. You can end up in this cycle of just over-analyzing, overthinking. And so there's very rarely decisions that you make which sort of like impact the rest of your life and you can't change them ever. It's like very rare that you get a decision in your life where that is the case. And so it's better to make decisions faster. And I think practically some things that you can do to do that is, so some practical tips on how to actually go ahead and do this is basically like if you're making a purchasing decision, have a set monetary amount where if it's less than that amount, you just do it. You don't overthink it. You don't think, damn, should I buy this? Should I not? It's just like do the thing and just like try to get into that habit of like making decisions, creating like standards where you can make decisions faster. I think I spent a lot of time this year just overthinking certain things and just being slow with certain decisions. And it's just like, at the end of the day, it's not going to change your life. At the end of the day, it's not going to be something irreversible. And I'm reminded of this Seneca quote, which said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality," meaning that you overthink these things. You think so long about them. You think that it's going to be the biggest thing. But actually, if you just made that decision quicker, your life would move faster. You would probably get results faster. You would probably be happier more because you don't have these things bothering you. All right, my camera battery died again. And last point on that make decisions quicker point is basically the concept of open loops, which I read somewhere on Twitter, I think. And it's this idea where the more open loops that you have in your head, in your life in general, the more anxious you're going to be because you won't have any space to get anything else done. And so what exactly is an open loop? This can be things like, I need to fold my clothes, but I'll do it after. It's just going to sit on the side of my room. Or I need to send that email or that text message, but I'll actually respond to it after because right now I'm doing this. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to finish that thing that I said I was going to do. I need to talk to this person, but I'll do it later. And so all of those loops, the more of them that you keep open, the more of them that you don't like close immediately, the less bandwidth that you're going to have. All right, last one is set meaningful boundaries and honor them. This is for yourself, but also for others as well. So this one I think is pretty important. And the reason is that if you constantly lie to yourself about something, if you constantly say you're going to do this, but you break that boundary or you let someone else break that boundary repeatedly over and over and over again, what you end up doing is you actually lose a lot of self-respect and you end up not trusting your own words. And this can be like very simple, like you don't notice it as it happens. But over time, when you do this multiple times over and over and over again, you actually don't trust yourself and you don't trust your word. And that actually shows up to other people as well. Other people can sense, oh, wow, he's not really sure of himself, or he's not, he doesn't really mean what he says. And so it's important that you set a few boundaries where you can actually stick to them rather than like 10 different things that you think matter to you, but then you only follow like 3. And if you break them, or if another person crosses that boundary, make sure you have a discussion, make sure you have some sort of action associated with that, because otherwise you're just going to end up lying to yourself and you're going to end up hating yourself. So yeah, those are the top 5 lessons I have learned this year. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Going into the future, going into the new year, I'm going to be posting more videos on this channel on different topics like tech, AI, philosophy, investing, health and fitness, and really whatever interests me. This channel is at the end of the day like sort of like a log of my growth. And so If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.